Welcome to the Gus Alba Perspective, a videocast that is linked to the concept of abundance and gratitude over the mindset of fear and scarcity. Think about this, completely different poles and completely different ways of viewing life. But the interesting thing is that through a videocast like this, utilizing inspiration and a psychiatric point of view, we can touch on many different themes. The theme that I'd like to touch on today is, do you need to apologize for what you do? Think about this. We probably face different circumstances where we're around others, and we oftentimes ask ourselves this very question. So the question of whether one needs to apologize for their actions is a very nuanced and context dependent theme. Apologizing can be a powerful act that demonstrates empathy. It also demonstrates accountability and a commitment to making amends. However, the necessity and the appropriateness of an apology can vary vastly based on different factors. And through this video cast, what we're going to be doing is exploring maybe some of these different factors, as well as some of the potential benefits and detractors of exactly this. First, let's explore factors. The impact on others is very important because if your actions have hurt or offended or inconvenienced others, an apology is generally warranted. Acknowledging the impact of your behavior not only shows respect, but it also shows consideration for other people's feelings. And I'll tell you what, that'll carry a long way for most people. We also have to take into consideration the intent versus the outcome. Because while intent matters, the outcome oftentimes holds more weight. So let's think about this. Even if harm was unintentional, addressing the consequences and expressing regret can certainly help in repairing a relationship. Now, responsibility and accountability are also very important because by taking responsibility for your actions, this is a clear sign of maturity and integrity. Apologizing when you're at fault demonstrates that you are willing to be accountable and to also learn from your mistakes. That's very important. We know that different cultures and different social contexts have a varying expectation around apologies. Understanding these norms might not be a bad idea because they can guide whether and how one should apologize. Now, if we reflect on why an apology is necessary, that'll lead us down this path of what we've talked about before, personal growth. Ultimately, the whole reason for doing these video casts is to help us evolve in such a manner that we are becoming better on a regular basis. By having a greater degree of self-awareness, this might help us prevent similar issues in the future. So let's consider some of the potential benefits of apologizing. If you think of healing, I, as a physician, as a doctor, my main mantra in life is healing others. But believe it or not, an apology has that salubrious effect on others. It can help heal and reconciliate. Apologies can facilitate healing for both parties involved. They can mend relationships and prevent further misunderstandings or conflicts. When you apologize appropriately, you build trust by regularly taking responsibility for mistakes. Trust evolves. People are more likely to trust and respect someone who acknowledges and rectifies their errors. And obviously, also, there's that cathartic emotional relief. Apologizing can provide emotional relief and closure for both the person apologizing and the one that's receiving the apology. Now, keep in mind that as we speak about some of these benefits, an apology may not be necessary in certain places. What's that mean? Well, if there's been no harm done, if no one was harmed or negatively affected by your actions, well, obviously, apologizing would probably be overkill. If there's a mutual understanding, for example, in some cases, uh, there's an acceptance of a situation, an explicit apology might be a bit redundant and might not sound sincere. If there's a manipulative situation involved, someone could try being manipulative by apologizing and utilizing that as a way to control or undermine you. It might be better to stand firm and not apologize in an insincere manner. So there's always the positive concept of intention. And if we feel like apologizing is necessary, how might we be able to do this in an effective manner? Well, the most effective way is to be sincere. If you ensure that your apology is heartfelt and genuine, that'll help because insincere apologies can actually do more harm than good. Acknowledging specific actions is important. Vague apologies can seem dismissive. And if you're apologizing, it's not a bad idea to clearly state what you're apologizing for. Expressing regret and empathy, equally as important. If you show that you understand the impact of your actions and express genuine regret for the harm caused, the other person will certainly take heed of this. And offering to make amends is super important. Whenever possible, offer a way to make up for the mistake. This shows a commitment to rectifying the situation and avoid being defensive. Don't make excuses, don't shift blame. We'll talk about that in another video cast, but focusing on taking responsibility for your part in the situation is ultimately what will help create a better overall scenario within that relationship. As you've noted, a mindset of gratitude and abundance will help us focus on the fact that while not every situation requires an apology, it's often a crucial step in maintaining healthy and respectful relationships. Being thoughtful about when and how to apologize can demonstrate maturity and a willingness to grow and improve. So as you've noted through this video cast, we basically explored this particular thematic that sometimes pops up. Do you need to apologize for what you do? Well, in some instances, you certainly need to. In others, you might not need to. But it's not a bad idea to have a full grasp of what exactly it is that's going on. And for that, I thank you for joining us on the Gus Alpha Perspective today. And I wish you a great rest of the day. Thank you.